Hi, this is Vibrant Scrappy Mania, and today I'm going to create another layout, and this is a sketch. And I'm using the papers from Old Christmas Tree, My Mind's Eye. So I'm almost down to the last bits. I just have a lot of little bits and pieces, and that's what I am going to be using for this layout. So the other thing that I'm also going to be using is these stamps. So I have these ornament stamps, and I'm also going to be using this Martha Stewart snowflake stamp that I purchased over the Black Friday. And I'm also going to be using some of these alphabets and this rub-on alphabet for my title. Going to be using some of this Baker twine, and I also am going to be using the Martha Stewart. Actually, this is the Anna Griffin. I'm going to be using the Anna Griffin embossing dies that she has that I purchased some time ago at HSN. So let me go ahead and get started with the layout. This page is going to be a little different. I am going to, instead of framing the beige piece of paper with my red polka dot, I'm actually just going to frame two sides. And in addition to that, I'm putting this strip, and that gold strip was made with Jenny Bolin punch called Ticket Please. And I really like that punch. I've been using it a lot more frequent than my other punches. And because I kind of created it off center, I'm only framing two sides of that beige page. You need to make sure that it measures 12 by 12, and that's why I was cutting the excess. Just make sure you cut the excess on the side that it's not framed. I want the tags, those tags, to be all symmetrical. So that's why I make sure I cut them all the same size, and then when I cut the tails off, I put one on top of the other, stack them up, and then cut the tail off. And that will make sure that it's symmetrical and they're the same. I'm framing everything towards the left. When you create layouts, usually things that are more towards one side or odd numbers tends to be more pleasing to the eye. So that's why I have three fishtail or three banners instead of four. And then I'm framing everything, instead of in the center, I'm framing everything towards the left side. And there's my circle. Now I made that circle with my curvy circle cutter, but you can also use plates to create your circles. That will work fine as well. And then these swirls are created with the Anna Griffin dies, emboss dies that she sells at HSN. I've seen them at the Cricut.com website. They also sell it, and every once in a while they have it on sale. So I was fortunate enough to find some of these for $10 to $11 on the Cricut website. So you might want to visit that to see if they still have that special. So now I'm just placing my my mat with my cardstock, white cardstock. Once I develop my pictures, I'm just going to put that there. And that measures 4.5 by 6, the red photo mat. And then the picture or the cardstock inside is a regular 4 by 6. Now, because most of the balance, if you notice that most of the heaviness or the weight of the page is towards the left, we need to balance that out by putting a little more embellishments onto the lower right. That also serves to kind of make sure that your eyes travel along the top of the page to the middle, to the end, to the side there. So your eye's gonna travel across the page, and it will also focus on the pictures. Okay. So now that I've done that, notice that it still needs something. To me, it's still off balance just a little bit. But before I address that, I'm going to go ahead and put my snowflakes on. These were using the Martha Stewart Snowflake Punch. Again, odd numbers are the best for layouts. So that's why I only put 5 snowflakes instead of 6. And then I'm going to put some of my embellishments, and these are these Christmas ornaments from my stamp that I have for some time ago. I'm going to place it on the top right, and that will also help balance the page so it doesn't feel like it's all tilted towards one side. And I created those ornaments by using my book paper that I have de-acidified a long time ago, and I'll put the link on how to de-acidify your book paper. So I stamped it, and then I use some embossing ink to kind of give it a little more richness, because when I first stamped it, the color of the ink was disappearing between the book paper. So when I embossed it with some glitter embossing powder, it really made the ink more vibrant, and also it gave it a little sparkle on the page. So now here I'm just kind of figuring out where to put the title. Now I was originally going to put the title on the top right where my ornaments were, but it just was kind of throwing the page off. It was just making it a little too slanted towards the right, in my opinion. So I decided just to put it underneath the photo mat, making sure that the title is touching the close to the mats and the tag, so that way it all feels like it's connected. Now, one thing that I when I first started doing pages, a lot of my mistakes was that I was putting embellishments and on its own, like floating. I was not kind of touching the embellishments against the photo mats or putting it all together. So that's one trick to make it look all cohesive, is you try to make sure that all your embellishments kind of touch each other and kind of make clusters within your mats or your other embellishments. So here I have a little bucket that I keep some of my rhinestones, and I also keep some sequins. And I found some stars that were perfect to put on top of my Christmas ornaments. And then I decided to use sequins because sequins is the rage nowadays. So I wanted to put some sequins in the centers of my snowflakes. And these sequins were pretty cheap. I don't buy the scrapbook sequins. I go to Joann's and Michael's and go to the fabric area and buy the sequins there instead of the scrapbook area. So I'm almost done with this page. And in a moment you'll see that I want to put something else. I still felt like it needed something right there. I needed to repeat this baker's twine, and it needed something right there on the lower right. So I decided to put a little strip of my baker's twine on top of that paper strip and then tape it in the back. So I'm done with this layout. So I hope you like this tutorial, this layout process, and thank you for watching. Bye now.